Hi guys, and welcome to Premier League Edition Week 36. Oh my God, only 2 weeks left of the Premier League. It's absolutely flowing this year. So let's get straight to it. We start with Liverpool versus Stoke at 12:30, and Stoke are absolutely fighting for points at the moment. And I can see that Liverpool, are probably going to have more or less one eye on Roma on Tuesday or Wednesday for the Champions League. It's 5-2 on aggregate at the moment, so they still need to do a little bit of work. They need to get an early goal at Roma, so I can't see them, going all guns blazing out against Stoke, and I think Stoke could get a result here. So I'm going to go Liverpool 1, Stoke 1. Then we go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we have Crystal Palace versus Leicester, and again, Crystal Palace need all the 3 points they can get. Leicester, they're not really going anywhere in the Premier League. I just don't think that Crystal Palace are going to be strong enough to see off Leicester, even though it is at home. So I'm going to go for the same result. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 1, Leicester 1. We then have Huddersfield versus Everton. Again, two teams that haven't really got anything on the line. Everton's, just playing for pride more or less. And same as Huddersfield, I think they find themselves maybe 15th, 14th in the table. So again, same result for that one. I'm going to go Huddersfield 1, Everton 1. Now we have Burnley versus Brighton. Obviously, Burnley are trying to catch up with Arsenal at the moment, trying to finish 6th. Brighton again, they haven't really got anything to play for. I can see that Burnley can win this one. Actually, it is at Turf Moor, so I think but. They're a funny side, Burnley, because they can sit there and they can have the game of their lives and they can make it hard for you. And in other weeks, they let you down a little bit. But it is at Turf Moor, like I say, so I think that Burnley can just about win this. I'm going to go Burnley 1, Brighton 0. I don't think Burnley will finish above Arsenal now. But you never say never. But I can't see it happening now. But make no mistake about it. They've had a really, really good season, and if they can, have a familiar season next year, and maybe buying one or two other players, they could finish maybe 6th or 5th next year. I don't want to say top 4. I think that's going a little bit, too far. But because I want to get to that a little bit later on in the video. So we now have Newcastle versus West Brom. I think West Brom are more or less, down and buried. They've had 2 fantastic results though. They drew to Liverpool and they beat Manchester United the week before that. But I think that Newcastle, I know this sounds really stupid, but I think Newcastle will be too strong for them, even though they've just gone to Old Trafford and got 3 points there and got a draw next week. But I still think that Newcastle would be too strong for West Brom. It's a different kind of game as well. Where the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United, they'll give you time and space on the ball. Where West Brom obviously use those areas quite well. I can't see Newcastle giving them that kind of space. So so for that, I'm going to go Newcastle 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. We then have Southampton versus Bournemouth. A bit of a derby there. Again, Southampton need all the points they can get. I can't see them beating Bournemouth, even though it is at St Mary's. I'm going to go Southampton 1, Bournemouth 1. At 5:30 we have Swansea versus Chelsea. Obviously, good win for Chelsea last week. Beating Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. And they've now got a date with Manchester United in the FA Cup final. Can't see them putting too much of a strong side out against Swansea. I think that's probably the only thing that Chelsea are playing for now is the FA Cup final. But again, I think Chelsea would be too strong for Swansea, even though it is at Swansea. I'm going to go Swansea 0, Chelsea 2. On Sunday's fixtures, we start at 2:15. We have West Ham versus Manchester City. West Ham needing all the 3 points that they can get. Manchester City, they haven't really got anything to play for, but they want as many points as possible. So I think they're going to be far too strong for West Ham. Because we all know that usually you'd say, all teams won it now, they're going to be on their holiday. Pep Guardiola isn't that kind of manager. He is just absolutely savage. He's ruthless, and he wants as many points as he can get. So before that, I'm going to go West Ham 1, Manchester City 3. At 4:30, we have Manchester United versus Arsenal, and obviously I haven't spoke to you within the week. So obviously last Friday, breaking news came out that Arsene Wenger has been sacked by the board, and he won't be Arsenal manager next year. So this Sunday is the last ever time he will have a Manchester United versus Arsenal clash. Last time he'll face Manchester United as an Arsenal manager. I personally, I don't want to sound savage or disrespectful, but I personally, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to say, oh, I feel sad this and I feel emotional that. Because like for years now, maybe like the last 4 to 5 years, I've said that Arsenal need a new manager. That Arsene Wenger's gone stale, and I've been asking for him to leave for ages. So why now? When the board has sacked him, I'm going to sit there and feel emotional. Of course I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy. That we're going to be getting a new manager, and hopefully that we can start competing again. Going into the match, I think Arsenal will have one eye on Atletico Madrid. We drew 1-1 yesterday. Played really, really well as well. Let us down at the end, giving that goal away. Again, Manchester United, I think they've got more or less one eye on the FA Cup final against Chelsea. So I can't see this being a fantastic game, to be fair to you. I've gone for a massive gamble here because I do still think that Manchester United would be far too strong for Arsenal. But I just think, it's Arsene Wenger's last time he's going to be, Arsenal boss in a Manchester United Arsenal game. So I think the players can go all out and give him the performance of their lives and secure a point for him. So I'm going to go Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. And then on Monday Night Football we have Tottenham versus Watford. And again, I think that Tottenham would be too strong for Watford. So I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Watford 0. So that has been my predictions for this weekend, guys. As I was saying, earlier, it's going to be a really, really tight season next year. With obviously, I think Jurgen Klopp would still be at Liverpool. I mean, he's done tremendous things with Liverpool this year. I mean, it's like building your way up, isn't it? I think they're about 3rd or 4th in the table in the Premier League. I think the 3rd. And obviously in the semi-finals, nearly in the final of the Champions League. So who knows where they can do next year. Manchester City, they've got one more year left with Pep Guardiola. Manchester United, they'd still have Jose Mourinho. Chelsea, I think they're going to be getting a new manager because I think Antonio Conte will be going. And the big news is who's going to come at Arsenal. So I think it's going to be really, really tight next year. And obviously, let's not forget Tottenham as well. I'm hearing Pochettino could be going as well. So Tottenham could be getting a new manager as well. So next year is going to be really, really interesting. I was saying about Burnley, maybe they could finish 6th or 5th next year. But, with all these managers coming in, who the hell knows where, what the hell the Premier League is going to be next year. So look forward to that. 2 weeks left of this Premier League to go. I personally, as an Arsenal fan, just can't wait for it to finish now and let's just get to the World Cup. It's just like dragging for me now. Nothing to play for. So, but anyway, that's been my predictions for this weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week for next week's prediction. Thank you for watching, guys.